The hypothetical scenario of Admiral Zheng He, Cheng Ho, returning on an eighth voyage to modern Malaysia and addressing the treatment of ethnic Chinese as second-class citizens is rich with historical and cultural symbolism. Zheng He, the 15th-century Muslim Chinese admiral and diplomat, was renowned for his diplomacy, multicultural respect, and promotion of harmony during his voyages across Southeast Asia, the Indian Ocean, and beyond. Here's a speculative but historically rooted take on how he might respond. 1. Zheng He's historical legacy. Multiculturalism. Zheng He commanded a fleet of 300 ships with crews of diverse ethnicities and religions, including Muslims, Buddhists, and Confucians. He respected local customs, built mosques, e.g., in Malacca, and forged trade alliances without colonization. Soft power. His voyages emphasized mutual benefit, exchanging goods, knowledge, and goodwill. He avoided force unless attacked, prioritizing diplomacy over domination. Symbol of unity. As a Hui Muslim from Yunnan, a Chinese minority group, Zheng He embodied the possibility of bridging cultural and ethnic divides. 2. What would Zheng He say to Malaysia's elites? If confronted with ethnic tensions and inequality, Zheng He might draw from his philosophy of harmony through equity and respect. Unity and diversity. He would likely remind Malaysia's leaders of its history as a global crossroads, where Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous cultures thrived together. Malacca's golden age under his visits exemplified this. Condemn discrimination. He might criticize policies that marginalize any community, citing his own crew's diversity as proof that cooperation drives prosperity. For example, a ship sails best when all hands work together. A nation thrives when all its people are valued. Advocate for fairness. Zheng He could urge reforms to address systemic inequities, e.g., Bumiputera policies, emphasizing meritocracy while respecting Malaysia's Malay Muslim majority identity. Leverage shared history. As a Muslim admired in Malaysia, he might invoke Islam's teachings on justice. Allah commands justice, kindness, and generosity to relatives, Quran 1690, to advocate for fair treatment of Chinese Malaysians. 3. Addressing the Chinese Malaysian community. To Chinese Malaysians, Zheng He might offer a mix of pride and pragmatism. Honor your roots, embrace your home. He'd celebrate their contributions to Malaysia's economy and culture, e.g., trade, education, cuisine, while encouraging integration without assimilation. Reject victimhood. Drawing from his own rise from captivity to admiral, he might urge resilience. Strength lies not in resentment, but in building bridges. Demand accountability peacefully. Advocate for rights through dialogue, law, and unity with allies across ethnic lines. 4. Modern parallels. What Zheng He would prioritize. Economic equity. Promote policies that uplift all communities, such as needs-based, not race-based, aid, to reduce resentment and foster national unity. Education and cultural exchange. Revive his legacy of knowledge sharing, perhaps through scholarships or multicultural heritage projects. Condemn extremism. Warn against divisive rhetoric, citing the collapse of Malacca's sultanate after internal strife and external exploitation. Global reputation. Remind Malaysia that its international standing, trade, tourism, depends on its reputation for fairness and stability. 5. A message to the elite Putrajaya. To Malaysia's political and economic elites, Zheng He might issue a stern yet hopeful rebuke. You sit in the seat of a kingdom that once dazzled the world with its diversity. Do not squander this legacy. The wealth of a nation is measured not in gold, but in the dignity of its people. Let your policies reflect the wisdom of the past, justice for all, favoritism for none. Conclusion. Zheng He's hypothetical return would highlight Malaysia's potential to reconcile its multicultural identity with modern governance. His advice would likely blend pragmatic diplomacy, appeals to shared Islamic and Confucian values of justice, and reminders of the economic and moral costs of division. While he couldn't erase centuries of complex history, he'd urge Malaysians to see their diversity as a strength, not a weakness, and to strive for a society where every citizen feels they belong.